I now request His Excellency Mr. Wajid Shamsul Hasan, High Commissioner for Pakistan to the United Kingdom, to come and say his welcome remarks for the guests.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Right Honorable Eric Pickles, Secretary of State for Communities and Local Government, Excellencies, my Lords, Honorable Members of Parliament, Honorable Mayors, Councillors, and my friend Adam Thompson, High Commissioner for UK in Pakistan, Ms. Noshina Mubarak, and Mr. Michael Wade, Chair of Conservative Friends of Pakistan, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Today we gather here to celebrate Pakistan's National Day. It is another landmark event in the life of our nation. First ever elections to be held under a democratic government have been announced for May 11 by President Asif Ali Zardari after completion of 5-year constitutionally mandated tenure of the government. It would be for the first time that power would be transferred through vote to an elected government after a series of extra-constitutional interventions. The nation and its style leadership is committed to revert back to the supreme, progressive and egalitarian ideals of founding father Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, to ensure to all citizens equal rights and opportunities irrespective of caste, creed, colour or gender. Distinguished guests, I would also like to pay tribute to those great men and women who braved worst possible persecution to keep alighted the torch of freedom and the idea of democratic Pakistan, made idea of democratic Pakistan a possibility. Martyred leaders Zulfikar Bhutto and Mohtarama Shahid Benazir Bhutto need special mention. Without their leadership, we would not have reached the goal of democracy. Notwithstanding the economic difficulties, the electoral process is moving in the right direction. We shall have a change of government through vote at last. 5 years of democratic rule have had far-reaching consequences. We never had as good as manifested in politics of reconciliation and consensus a vision of martyred Mohtarama Benazir Bhutto, pursued by President Asif Ali Zardari, that brought its political leadership, including the opposition, military and judiciary, on the same page. I would like to pay extra tribute to security forces of Pakistan for the relentless sacrifices in the defence of the country. They have the backing of the entire nation and political leadership. This is reflected in the tall order of sacrifices with the lives rendered by the valiant personnel of the armed forces and the people of the war in the war against terrorism. Not only its defence of the country has been unparalleled, the role of the army to strengthen democracy and as a civil institution also deserves to be lauded. Ladies and gentlemen, not the least, a mention must be made of General Kiani's role. He is our army chief. He departed from the past traditions of most of his predecessors, and despite provocations and invitations from anti-democratic forces, he stood by the side of democracy as its pillar of his strength, and helped President Zardari to steer the nation to safer shores of democracy. Constitutional Amendment 18, 19 and 20 have made democracy invincible. Pakistan today is self-sufficient in wheat and its economy has shown improvement, slowly but surely overcoming multifarious challenges. It is Benazir Bhutto Income Support Scheme that has laid the foundation of a social welfare state. The legacy of the government that has moved out would be a source of strength for the next, since the nation and institutions are unified on issues of national and strategic importance. Among its various other achievements includes opening of trade with India without compromising on its core issues, including Kashmir. Yet another feather in the cap of this government is its excellent relations with the United Kingdom, as endorsed by the Prime Minister David Cameron in his oft-repeated assertion that your enemies are our enemies and your friends are our friends. As High Commissioner of Pakistan to UK, I must acknowledge the role played by UK in getting Pakistan market access into EU and its continued tenacious support to Pakistan for GSP Plus status. No doubt UK has established itself as our most reliable friend in the Western Hemisphere. I am happy to inform you that Pakistan-UK bilateral ties have gained from its strength to its strength over the years. United Kingdom, its government, its opposition, its people, including Pakistani diaspora, have charted a new course to a greater cooperation as manifested the roadmaps for trade, investment, cultural activities and field of education. Distinguished guests, UK is Pakistan's second largest trading partner in Euro and an important source of foreign investment and remittances. The bilateral trade is on the course to meet its target of 2.5 million by 2015. Pakistan and UK have tremendous cultural ties. The cultural roadmap signed last year has paved the way to bringing the people of the two countries closer together. Pakistan's participation in the International Fashion Show held recently was a practical demonstration of the same. Not the least, magnanimous support of the government and British people in times of our difficulties during earthquake and floods shall always be remembered with profound gratitude. Friends, in this context, I must acknowledge the enormous role played by my counterpart, British High Commissioner, His Excellency Adam Thompson. Without his support, the bridges taking our relations into pastures new would not have been possible. Thank you, Adam. As far as Afghanistan is concerned, Pakistan has convinced all parties to initiate a dialogue with Taliban for an Afghan-specific, Afghan-owned solution with the NATO withdrawal by 2014. Now it is up to Taliban and all other parties to respond positively to a way out of the imbroglio. A resilient Pakistan, however, is determined to safeguard its sovereignty and to eliminate terrorism to make the world safe for civilized and peaceful coexistence. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan today has an independent judiciary that had been rendered into a pliable tool in the hands of dictators in the past. Media too can gloat itself on account of no-holds-barred freedom it enjoys today. It is also a matter of pride for the government. There is no political prisoner in the country. Even rallies led by foreign nationals have been allowed unhindered to symbolize nations' strength and democracy. It is satisfying to note that President Zardari has buried deep politics of vendetta and replaced it with a democratic culture of tolerance. He has also ensured that power will be transferred to those who win elections within the framework of the Constitution under an independent election commission and a neutral interim set up under Prime Minister Mir Hazar Khan Khosrow. It is a landmark and proud achievement that a democratic government has completed its tenure to make room for constitutionally mandated transfer of power. Before I conclude, I must acknowledge the most positive support and patriotic role of over 1 million strong Pakistani diaspora in the United Kingdom. Our relations are reinforced by these millions that has a significant contribution to Pakistan's politics, culture and economy, UK's politics, culture and economy. 7 elected representatives in the House of Commons, 5 in the House of Lords, 2 in the Scottish Parliament, 1 in the West Wales National Assembly and 1 in the European Parliament. Over 300 mayors and councillors in the local bodies is a matter of immense pride for us. Meritorious services of British Pakistanis have been acknowledged by the Queen in annual awards every year, and this year too. Theirs is an example for others to emulate in stimulating interfaith harmony and service to the country of their adoption. We also have in our midst today Ms. Noshina Mubarak, Chairperson of Pakistan British Trade and Investment Forum, PBTIF, and Chairperson of Confederation of British Industries of Scotland. In recognition of her outstanding contribution to the promotion of trade between Pakistan and the UK and empowerment of women, the President of Pakistan has conferred upon her Tamga-e-Imtiaz, which I would be presenting to her a little later. In the end, I personally like to thank Right Honourable Eric Pickles for gracing the Pakistan reception tonight as Chief Guest. His presence is a strong reflection of the unmatchable bonds between our two countries and the people. Thank you all, ladies and gentlemen. Pakistan, Pindabad, long live democracy.
As the High Commissioner just mentioned, we have Right Honourable Eric Pickles, Secretary of State. May I request our chief guest this evening to come and say a few words on the occasion.
Okay. Callum, just scribble up. Assalamu alaikum. Well, Your Excellency, members of the House of Lords, distinguished guests, and the rest of us, it's just marvellous to be here, and it's no hardship to be here on Pakistan Day, because in a way it's a bit like coming home. I was brought up in Bradford. I was a councillor there. I lived among the Pakistani community. I'm as proud as punch of coming from Bradford, and I'm as proud as punch of the Pakistani community that makes Bradford such a vibrant place to live. And of course, right now, Bradford is celebrating a local lad doing very well, Mr. Zayn Malik of One Direction. I'm delighted that he's sold 12 million records globally. I'm delighted that he's making a Bobber 2, and I'm delighted that he's bringing great credit on the great city of Bradford. And we owe, Your Excellency, we owe an enormous debt to our Pakistani population, who've given a huge amount to Britain, bolstering British steel, the textile industry, and coming to the aid of the National Health Service with highly sought after professional skills. Business contributions, billions to our economy, but also giving a lot back to charity. And we have among the British Pakistani community many active politicians, not least of which is my dear friend Baroness Varsi, who sits in the cabinet, the first Muslim woman to sit in the British cabinet. I feel a great pride that she's there on two levels. First of all, she's a Yorkshire woman, and secondly, because I've known her since she was actually a girl, and she is making important decisions and making a great difference. And I'm pleased to see people of Pakistani heritage also making their mark in British politics from other political parties. Those who know me pretty well know that I love cricket, and I must admit I'm quite beguiled by Pakistani cricket. I love its extraordinary vitality, its flair, its enigma, the sort of bum has come as it may. And I'm pleased that Taswa Shah and others are donning the English shirts. We shouldn't forget that community contributions not only to this country, its economy and during peacetime, but also the contribution that people of Pakistani descent have made in 2 world wars. The anniversary of the First World War comes up, and we shouldn't forget the role of hundreds of thousands stepping forward in our hour of need. We will make sure that those who made the ultimate sacrifice are remembered and commemorated during this time. Now, I've often kind of wondered what lies beyond the close relationship that Britain enjoys with Pakistan. And I think it's, what is it the British Pakistan community are among the most likely with a strong sense of belonging to this country. I think it's because we share many things in common, far beyond our love of cricket or cuisine. I think some of the things about Pakistan's spirit that personally captivates me. The strong sense of a work ethic, the sense of independence and of duty, the fierce pride and the determination to stand on your own 2 feet, the drive and the energy to be an enterprising and entrepreneurial. And that's what we want to see. That's why we need to see the relationship blossom. As you referred to, Your Excellency, increasing bilateral trade, we hope to do, to 2.5 billion by 2015. And the UK have been tirelessly advocating, as you acknowledged in your speech, improved EU market access for Pakistan. Now, one of the truly great statesmen of the 20th century, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, summed up this in a very precise way. And he said, "Character, courage, industry, perseverance are the four pillars on which the whole edifice of human life can be built." These, I think, are four rules that we live by both in Britain and in Pakistan. So as we celebrate here today, those four rules, that surely is the basis of a deep historic relationship, one that I'm sure will strengthen and will grow. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you for those warm words, the Honourable Secretary of State.